We're doing a French onion stuffed certified Angus beef flank steak. You can find a certified Angus beef flank steak just like this in your retail case at your grocery store. Just look for the certified Angus beef logo and you know you're starting with the best beef. Thinner cut like a flank steak or even a skirt steak is really, really good for a roulade or something you're gonna roll with a stuffing inside. So let me show you how to make this one. I went ahead and pounded out this flank steak. All I did was pound it so it's an even thickness, which it makes it spread out a little bit more, yes, but it gives you a ton of surface area to season and add all of your delicious filling. So when you think of traditional French onion soup, that's what I was thinking about when I created this recipe and thought of what flavor profiles do we want to put inside of this to make it just pop, right? So I started with a little Boursin cheese, and I use about half of this block, and I use gloves to spread this just to make sure it's nice and even. I just prefer that. You can totally use a spoon, but about half. And spread it out on one side here. This also is gonna help kind of make things stick together. Think of it as a super delicious glue, if you will, for this roulade. Perfect. Next, Swiss cheese or provolone, just like that perfect cheese pull off the top of your French onion soup. That's what needs to go in next. So I'm using a couple pieces and I'm gonna cut in half so they're longer lengthwise and just overlap like this. And these are some caramelized Vidalia onions. They're so sweet. I took my time and caramelized these properly. Tiny splash of bourbon in there gives this a ton of flavor. So that is what I'm gonna top this with. The key to a caramelized onion is, yes, low and slow for quite a while on the stove, but if you can get your hands on a Vidalia onion, they caramelize so perfectly. It's like nature's vegetable candy, if you will. They're only grown from April to Labor Day in Georgia, so when it's in season, grab yourself a load of Vidalia onions. This is everything that we're doing as our filling. I'm just gonna do a little salt and pepper over this whole surface, and then we're gonna roll these up. Make sure you leave a little bit of the upper portion of your flank with no filling on it. That's gonna help everything kind of seal together, but also while it's cooking, it'll hold its shape better. Start from the edge closest to you and roll as evenly as you can, and then we're gonna use skewers to hold our whole rolled flank in place, and then I'm gonna tie off individual steaks. I'll show you. Tuck and roll, baby. I am making sure I use the tips of my fingers to make sure that all of that caramelized onion and the cheese is staying inside of the flank rolled up versus me squeezing it out like a tube of toothpaste. Bring it towards you and land it right on top. Right on top of that edge, just press. I'm just gonna use a few bamboo skewers to hold this in place while I tie with butcher's twine my individual pinwheels. You're totally able to only use skewers to cut the pinwheels, but because I'm going to be grilling inside my Weber, I don't wanna worry about soaking my skewers, so the butcher's twine is the way to go for this. So I went ahead and already cut a few pieces of twine. And this is all up to you on how big you'd like your pinwheels to be. The end pieces are always going to be a little bit smaller, so I keep them nice and thick and tall. Tie it just like that. This is like 10 inches of twine because at the end I'll go in and I'll trim my excess here and everything will be nice and even. As you use your butcher's twine, just make sure that you're picking up the roulade and you're able to get all of that beef under there versus scraping away any stuffing that may be coming out. Just be really gentle with the bottom of it. The thickness of your pinwheels is all up to you on how thin or thick you'd love these to be or how many people you're serving. So as I'm tying these, I'm probably looking at about 5 to 7 individual pinwheels. Your butcher's twine is gonna be what helps you keep all of these even. So I have 5 pieces of twine. At this point, you can take out your skewer that was your placeholder here, holding it all together. Gently go in and cut in between each piece of twine. And look at these. Kind of press down a little bit so they can stand up, and we will season these on both sides. And they are ready for a cast iron. I have my beautiful Weber here that's nice and hot. I'm going to sear these on a cast iron pan since all of the caramelized onions and that cheese that we put inside of these is probably gonna get ooey and gooey at some point. So cast iron is the way to go to sear off these pinwheels. I'm gonna put my pan in the grill so it can preheat to get that nice sear on these pinwheels. Now let's season these on both sides and we'll be ready to sear. This is my all-purpose seasoning. This is a little bit of our salt and pepper blend with some garlic powder, paprika, and onion powder. So now it's time to sear off our gorgeous pinwheels. Everybody's gonna wanna watch you do this. This is the best part. So I have preheated a cast iron pan on my grill. It is smoking hot. My pinwheels are seasoned, so I'm going to sear pretty hard on one side and then probably not walk away as I don't want one side to get too crispy, and we're gonna cook these fully on the cast iron pan. So it's been about 2.5 minutes since I've covered these and let them sear on one side, so let's check them out. As you're pulling these off, be gentle because the cheese and the onions are totally gonna come out and caramelize, but that's okay, we want that. Look at that. So a little technique to help with this is before you actually pull straight up, twist it so it comes free, then flip. All right, now before I cover and let the second side sear, I'm gonna do a little searing on the edges. It's just gently placing them on their sides so everything can get nice and seared. So let's roll them, if you will, so we can continue to sear those edges. Just slightly. Like, look at that little, searing the edges is gonna give you so many more opportunities for a crispy caramelized bite of beef every time. If you don't have a grill, this works perfectly on a cast iron on your stove, and then just pop it into the oven at 400 degrees to finish cooking. I'm gonna move my pan to the hotter portion of my grill to get a little more heat action here. And I'll turn about one more time to finish the edge searing, and then we'll do our last sear, and I'll show you what we're gonna top this with. So now let's flip to that opposite main side that we haven't fully seared yet, and we'll make our topping. If they fall over, that's okay. Just use their friends to help prop them up. Okay, so we're gonna let these go, maybe more to the medium heat portion of your grill. Cover for 2 more minutes, then I'll show you how we make our topping. So another nod to the classic French onion soup, we're gonna make that crouton cheesy topping and add this to the top of our pinwheels. So what I have here is toasted panko. I did this ahead of time and just brought it out to the grill with me, nice and easy. This is toasted with a little bit of seasoning and tallow. And then I found some pre-grated Gruyere cheese. Gruyere is the classic cheese everybody needs on top of their French onion soup that's been broiled to all goodness. That's what this is. So this gets mixed in to my Panko. I'd say 50-50 because we're living on the edge here. Stir this up. Beautiful. Now I'm going to carefully top this on top of each pinwheel and just give it a little kiss of some melted beef tallow to help everything kind of meld together. And these will be done in like 30 seconds. We're almost there. A little beef tallow to just drizzle over the top of all this breadcrumb action. I'm gonna cover this for 30 seconds just to let those breadcrumbs melt with that Gruyere, and I'm gonna chop up a little bit of scallion for topping, and this is it. So when it comes to when I want to serve a certified Angus beef flank steak that's been stuffed with all of this goodness and taken all of this time as far as searing on the grill goes, I would host some friends, maybe a couple's night at my house, maybe a summer cookout with some family on Sunday. Whatever it is, I want to feed this to somebody that I love and somebody that I want to make feel really special. So let's make the flank steak the star of the show and serve this to somebody that you really want to impress. So I like to cut my green onion on the bias so everything tastes better if it's cut on a bias. So when it comes to making sure you've got the degree of doneness that you like, I use a digital internal temp thermometer. You can get this at shop.certifiedangusbeef.com. This is foolproof. You will nail the doneness every time. I like to cook these at a more medium rare state, so I'm just gonna give these a quick temp. We are perfect. Not forgetting to cut off the twine that we used. It did its job very well. Just go in gently with a little paring knife, some scissors. We have nailed the classic flavors of French onion soup in this gorgeous certified Angus beef flank steak. That rich, bold flavor of the beef is gonna pair so beautifully with the sweetness of those caramelized Vidalia onions. All of that crunchy, cheesy Gruyere Panko on top. With this certified Angus beef flank steak roulade, you will be the hero of summer at the grill, and I know that everybody will appreciate and feel the love you've put into this meal for them.